When I first started out woodworking several years ago, I was kind of at a loss as to where to start with the buying process. And woodworking can be an expensive hobby. Now, this is nothing more than a little DeWalt job site saw, but even that, when you're young and you're broke, even something like this would be extremely expensive, and Lord forbid you tried to get into the range of cabinet saws. So after I got on YouTube and looked around for a bit, like many people, I thought, well, rather than getting into power tools and buying all the junk over there that costs hundreds and thousands of dollars when you add it all up, what I really need is a workbench. Now, this is not the first workbench that I built, but it's big and it's beefy and it's made for hand tools. And I thought, well, if I can just get into hand tools, those are what will really set me on my woodworking path. And, I have chisels and saws and Japanese saws and bits and braces and hand planes and all of this. And before I knew it, there goes thousands of dollars again. So then I thought, well, no, it must be clamps, right? Well, that's kind of a joke, and no, you can never have enough clamps, but no, clamps aren't what you need to really get your woodworking started. So next I thought, it must be literature. That's what I need. More books will give me more project ideas, and from there I can really expand my woodworking and expand my mind. But, it turns out that wasn't it either. So after several years and much consideration, what I think the most useful item in any shop, regardless of whether it's woodworking, metalworking, or any other craft, is a whiteboard. I'm not even joking. This simple whiteboard is featured in every single project that I do before I ever touch a piece of wood, before I ever make a cut, before I ever touch up a hand plane in preparation to prepare wood, or fire up the power planer or the chop saw or the table saw or any of that. This simple little whiteboard is always the first thing that I use. Now that might seem a little bit simplistic or clickbaity, but honestly, this is the most useful thing in my shop. Here's a prime example. I today in fact, built this simple little holder to hold my bit and braces that I don't use. I like to display them. I think they're pretty. So like my saws up here, I just wanted to get them up and out of the way. So rather than jumping in SketchUp or firing up a computer or anything else, I simply mocked up the edge of my board there as a rectangle, figured out some divisions, and that right there gave me exactly how long all my cuts needed to be, my spacing, everything. And I was able to just figure it out on a whiteboard. Now, I don't have a problem with using computers. I don't have a problem with using a notepad or a pen and paper, but this simple little whiteboard, because it's magnetic, I can keep my markers right there, and because it's right above my workbench, I can stand here, sketch it out, and then go over to the power tools or the hand tools or whatever I'm using and bring it to life. So if there is one thing that I would encourage somebody who's wanting to get into woodworking to get, it's some kind of setup where you can have a whiteboard right near your work area. And if you're not like me and not into hand tools, or you just want to do power tools, it will still work fine. If I were only using power tools, I have my big kind of outfeed assembly table area here and my table saw, and I have a dado saw, and all my sanders and everything are right over there. But it would still be just right behind me. And I'm telling you, you cannot overvalue this thing. It really is worth its weight in gold. So, before you go out and buy thousands of dollars worth of tools, get yourself a whiteboard, draw yourself some simple plans, and get in your shop and make a project. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're inspired. See you on the next one.
Bye.